Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, I want to have a little fun with this silly little thing. This is Scooby-Doo Team Up #1 from 2013. The cover date is January 2014, but of course it would come out about 3 months before, so it's 2013. And Scooby-Doo Team Up is a DC comic series from DC Comics running from 2013 to 2019. Featuring guests from the DC Universe and the Hanna-Barbera Universe, running a total of 50 issues. And some of the guests were like Batman, the Teen Titans, Wonder Woman, Super Friends, the Flintstones, and the Jetsons. And surprisingly, I don't remember seeing many of these. I had this one. And this was written by Sholly Fisch with art by Dario Brizuela. Okay, and this encounter of a team up of Batman and Scooby-Doo is tied in directly. It is basically a sequel to the Batman and Scooby-Doo team up from the new Scooby-Doo movies from the mid-70s. That was on TV, in which it had an hour-long episode every week that featured Scooby-Doo teaming up with various fictional and real-life characters, including Sonny and Cher, the Addams Family, of course, Batman, and I cannot remember the others because it's been so long since I've seen them. And you can see here, this is the art style is very nice and clean, very animation looking, but some lovely artwork and lovely line work because it is done. But this is an old Dick Grayson Robin. In that Scooby-Doo movie, it was they were up against teamed up against the Joker and the Penguin in that instance. And because I mentioned that simply because they mention it here in this book. And of course, after this, they teamed up many more times. They have an ongoing series of Batman and Scooby-Doo. And they even had I think this was probably about the time that they were producing Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, in which they had Scooby teaming up with a bunch of various real-life and fictitious characters. Had actors, entertainers, even scientists, and of course fictitious characters like Batman and Wonder Woman, etc. But that iteration in that particular Batman was the Batman from the Brave and Bold, and they even had a crossover movie, a straight-to-video movie of Scooby-Doo and Batman. And it was also the Brave and the Bold version, the animated Brave and the Bold version of Batman. So, let's have a little look. It's not very long. It isn't a whole issue, but it's still is not very long. It's a quick story, and of course, it is intended for a juvenile audience, but it's a lot of fun for us grown-ups, especially those that remember this stuff from the old days. This is in a city. The Scooby Gang are doing some investigating. They're given exposition here. It's about a giant bat creature, and it's seen in this area. And of course, Shaggy tries to get away, and we see, what's this? In the bottom corner here, this little bat-like shape. And then we see here, the top. Oh, you see on the top of this billboard, there's the baby, it's the Bat. And then we see turn on the flashlight, boom. It is Batman and Robin, and then we get the title of the show, this issue, Man Bat and Robin. That's Robin as in robbing. So it's Batman, Man Bat and Robin, and here's what they reacquaint themselves. They make reference to that, and then they said, "Yes, I've heard of the sighting here, and it sounds like Man Bat, who is a villain and sometimes ally of Batman." And if you remember, the very first episode of the Batman the Animated Series from what was it, 91, something like that, was a Man Bat episode. I think it's the first one aired. And here he gives the background of Dr. Langstrom, who's trying to cure his hearing loss, accidentally caused himself to become Man Bat. Then here's people screaming. There happen to be in the shopping and the just outside a shopping mall, and people are screaming and running out. It's hideous. They rush in. Some really, really nice artwork, as I said, right on model, very, very clean, but nice, very nice visual storytelling. And we see, we see these bat beings. And they're running. It's Batman and Robin, and they take off running, and then they spot him. Batman throws his batarang, which is just outside a seafood place, and causes the decorative fishing net to fall on top of them and catch them. And then we see, they're not really the Man Bat. They're just crooks in bat suits and masks. And said, yeah, they had heard about this stuff scaring people away, so we decided we'd take advantage of it, and do some, make off with a little stuff. Then Velma sees over in the big boy, there's another one. Said, but there's only 3 of us. So there's another one. They take over, and it is Screech, the Man Bat. Squawk, squawk. It's the real Man Bat. Shaggy doesn't realize. He thinks it's a guy in a mask again, tries to pull the mask off, and winds up being pulled along with the Man Bat as he flies away. And Scooby, trying to save Shaggy, gets pulled along as well. So they're flying around the mall with and taking advantage. Batman jumps to the rescue. And the crooks, taking advantage, try to take off. So Robin and the rest of the Scooby gang are engaged in recapturing all of those crooks. While the Bat is flying Shaggy and Scooby around, Batman leaps up, grabs on lands on Man Bat, and he administers the antidote to Man Bat. Of course, there are other little things going on involved. He starts changing back. Suddenly, there's no one to hold them up. And they fall, and the gang catches them safely in the net, that decorative fishing net. And meanwhile, right next to the House of Rope, they borrowed some rope and tied up all the crooks. Then the cops are hauling them away. They're glad to have met each other again, and Dr. Langstrom thanks Batman for helping him, because he just occasionally turns back into the Man Bat. And then Scooby pulls a prank on Shaggy and scares the crap out of him. "I'm Ratman!" Shaggy, with Scooby wearing one of the bat masks. And even though they don't have it, you can just hear it. Yes. Didn't have an ad for the Plastic Man. And there. And it's just a fun little thing. I enjoyed it. I enjoy it. Very, very nostalgic, even though it isn't that old. Just because, well, it's 2 classic characters teaming up. And this is the first time they teamed up again, of course, since that animated show. But they have teamed up many times since. As I said, they even have had a continuing series, and I have several issues of that, of Batman and Scooby-Doo team up. and sometimes have brought in other characters like Batgirl and Batwoman. So that's just some good clean fun, and that's all I've got for you this time. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share this if you know somebody who is a Scooby fan or a Batman fan. Let me know what you think of a Scooby-Doo team up with featuring Batman. And Ruby Roo! Remember, comics are art.